Hello, hello. Late breaking news to you. I'm going live. So you're here. I'm here. We're here. Let's have a night. Yeah. So I saw most of you, some of you, in the Robert Wallace live stream. That was cool. That was fun. I enjoyed it. That was neat. I said some shit that I shouldn't have. Uh, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. I am. Um, yeah. Anyway. What's going on with you guys? Thanks, Val. And Robert Wallace. Thanks for an awesome live stream. That was great, brother. Yeah, I did. Headless. I did. Sometimes my mouth and my brain will write a check that I have to cash later. And it's like, why'd you say that, you dummy? But I did. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's never meant in malice. Just a dick move. So, anyway, what are you guys up to? Getting ready to go into this work week. Get ready. Let's go. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. All right, good. I'm glad. Headless, I am so glad. And you did encourage me. You son of a bitch. Guy must be retired. I'm just kidding, Headless. Thank you. I know, man. You've said lots of shit in my stream before, Robert Wallace. I've gone back and read it and been like, what? What? What do you say? It's okay. Everybody's cool. It's all good. Probably take these out now. Yes. So, very interesting day of news. Would you not agree? Or last couple days? Apparently, Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and a gang of about 9 others, or 9 total, or something like that, went over to the country of Jordan to investigate the happenings within Syria with Trump's new ceasefire. It makes perfect sense that since everybody's in a ceasefire, you'd go over there and just try to investigate. And I think what that's going to bring up is a lot of nothing, hullabaloo, but it will have offered them an opportunity to get into Jordan and destroy all the evidence, or as much as they can, to get it out of where it was. I mean, these are safety places to go. How can Nancy Pelosi fly to Jordan, you might ask, on the government dime? She didn't. Her and Adam Schiff and everybody that flew over there didn't go on our corporate dime. They didn't. They went on a private, subsidized company that paid for it under the authority of George Soros, one of the great maniacal pieces of shit you either know about now or will learn about in the future history of the world. George Soros, bad guy. Bad guy. Anyway, this trip was funded on his dime. Everything that is coming down around the deep state, in one way, shape, or form, has a direct tie to George Soros, perhaps one of the greatest individual pieces of excrement that is on display in a living form today. Yeah. He's that bad. He's that bad. So, what will this trip yield? Who knows? They're going to come back with all their fairy tales and all of any storyline that they choose to come back with from Jordan. And that's perfectly okay with Trump. And the Q team. Perfectly okay. 100% okay. Come back with whatever narrative you need to come back with, Chairman Schiff. We're going to beat your ass up all day as this goes forward. You want to know why? It's not because he's not crafty, and it's not because he's not smart. Very smart, very crafty. His proverbial turd in the punch bowl is that we are awake. That's what will torment and end this man. It's not that he doesn't have the chops to go forward with this and be the douchebag that he's been showing himself to be. He has been that. On top of being a treasonous, seditious bastard who's probably covered up for many murders that have happened in the Standard Hotel. Look it up. It's all there. It's just there. I mean, why would I pull it up? It's common knowledge. This guy is a piece of shit. But he's not dumb. He's not stupid. And he will ride this out as long as he can. This whole thing, for everything riding out as long as it can. Anything that they can throw at the president that can sustain an amount of time that it takes to discredit what we're throwing at him is all time that they spend trying to create and uncover dirt on Trump. And at this point, they can't uncover dirt on Trump. It's just not acceptable. It just can't happen. So they create dirt. And that's what we are going through now. It should encourage every one of us that we see the deep state going into the death throes for the fight of their life. That's why these stories get more and more ridiculous. As time goes on, these get crazier and crazier for the trail of events they want to lead back to Trump. These people are fighting for their lives. You have to know this. And you have to know that as crazy as it is, being unmasked in front of every one of us, watching it on mainstream television, certain factions, certainly not the left mainstream television, none of them, and very small segments of Fox News, but mainly you digital soldiers that watch this show and the many hundreds and millions of thousands, millions, and multi-millions that go out there and get the truth from these big major channels that are dropping the truth. X22 Report. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It will tell you everything that you need to know about what's going on with our economy and then also with what's going on in the geopolitical realm, which is more centered toward Q and what's going on there. But really, Q is centered around the political side of it too, with the monetary system. It just is. It's a great channel. I heard somebody, I think it was Brendan Straka. I think he's a gay man that was a Democrat forever and then looked at the Me Too movement and it devastated him because it just, for whatever reason, I don't know the exact story, but it wrecked his paradigm. And he came on to be a conservative supporting Trump. He put out a fantastic tweet the other day. I don't have it to pull up. I could, I guess, but I'm not gonna. Because the point that he made was that he said a lot of these mainstream television companies are putting out the story and they are beating them to death. He replied to somebody that said this. I'm getting weary of what I'm witnessing and how nothing's happening. And I thought it was summed up perfectly, although not verbatim, by Brendan Straka, who said, listen, if you're getting tired right now, you go get yourself a freaking double espresso latte or a shot and you put it in you. Because right now, is when the media wants you to go to sleep. They want you to sleep right now. They want you to be fed up with this. They want to break you down as a patriot. They want you to succumb to President Trump getting impeached. And you know what? There's no goddamn way we're going to let that happen. We have the truth. We have the truth. We won't let that sway us. You kidding me? There ain't no way it's ever going back to the way it was before. No matter what happens in this country. People's eyes have been they've shed the scales from their sight. America is awake. The world is awake. And the deep state is in deep shit. You rate that for the paper. They're in deep fucking shit. They'll get no sympathy from me. Sympathy is found in the dictionary. It can be found. It's between syphilis and shit. There's your sympathy, deep state. Fuck you. You evil bastards, man. Never lose focus and never stop remembering how deep the corruption of what goes on within the deep state. Don't forget what happened on Epstein Island. Don't forget that there's a manifesto that links some of the most powerful political and even beyond people of the world that link to this island, where they basically got perked or whatever to screw kids. Let's just call it what it is. All types of kids. White kids, brown kids, yellow kids, old kids, young kids. Any kids that your fucked up mind can put together that you want, guess what? It's all available on Epstein Island and abroad. That's the scary, sad part. It's available everywhere. But not anymore. Not anymore. Stuff's coming to an end. Coming to an end. It certainly is. It's happening in front of your faces. Now, there have been some people that have spoke about, the first or second week in November that this would all be wrapped up and we would be seeing people walk. And maybe we will. Maybe. Enough of the story is out. Enough of all of this is out. It kind of in the mainstream. It's kind of out there. People know that shit's fucked up. People know that Epstein was like, no matter, it crosses bipartisan lines. They know that Epstein was trash. But they also know in that same breath that there are people within both factions of the government that are knee deep up to their elbows. Knee deep up to their elbows. Okay, I have to rethink that. But they are up to their necks in this collusion and bullshit. They just are. And they know it. And it's being exposed. So I like what Brendan Straka had to say was, don't you dare go to sleep right now. Don't you dare be fed up with what media is trying to beat your ass down with. Don't you dare do that for a second. You grab your fucking self by your patriotic bootstraps and you pull yourself up and you say, fuck this. You're not winning. That's all there is to it. You are not going to win. And that's it. They're not going to win. They're not going to break us down. We are the ones that are going to win when this is done. And we are winning. And fuck all these channels Seriously. I don't watch any other channels that don't do anything but bring the truth. I don't watch any of them that entertain any of the shit. Like, I'm speaking to a lieutenant colonel from the 8th Brigade of this wing that says, we got blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. We're done listening to that shit. Fuck you and your leaks and your secret correspondent bullshit. Fuck off. That will probably lose me subscribers, by the way. Sorry. But we're sick of that shit, man. I'm sick of it. I'm not listening to your dick mouth. I'm not going to sit there and run your dick mouth. Any of you. There's so many of you out there. So many. Let's just make the internet what it's supposed to be, and that is a freedom of information. And if we can funnel it down into a situation where all we get is truth, then great. By their stripes, they are healed, but also by their stripes, they will be revealed. And these people are revealed. They just simply are. Having a show is way more important to them than getting to the truth and getting big and getting large and getting donations and getting people. Have I ever asked any of you for $1 in my life, nor even hinted at it ever until I just asked you now? Have I ever asked that of anybody? That's not what this movement is about. This movement is about all of us waking up, how we need to wake up, in whatever forum we need to wake up. And I happen to be very obliged to be a very small segment in your everyday life, that where I get to spew what I'm feeling. And you know, I need to know that I'm on the right track too. Believe it. I happen to be able to hit a couple buttons and turn this thing on and talk to you. And that's great for me. But I am every bit in the fray as all of you guys in every bit of my life. I mean, I want this shit to end. I want this awful corruption to go away. I think it's gonna. I think that's what's going on. I think it's going on in front of us. And those that won't wake up at this point, well, then maybe they won't. Red October. One of the prior Q drops, Red October. I believe a lot of the Q drops were given a year or two in advance of, basically they were showing the plan that if what we're going to do comes out to be what we think it's going to be, then you're going to have the information and the truth right in front of you from the very get-go. And I think the Q drops did just that. These drops have provided us with nothing but major information. Major things that you can only appreciate now, looking back on it and saying, you know what, that shit's really happening. That really happened. This is going down as we were shown it was going to be going down. Nobody here wants to be led astray. That's not what any of, I feel, the truth movement is about, is that you don't purposely go to be led astray. You fight for truth. Let a spade be a spade. Let the facts shake out where they shake out. I felt that way ever since Trump announced he was going to run. I never really cared. I know I've spoke about it in the past and said that I heard Trump's an asshole and all this, but I never really cared or felt one way or another about the guy. I thought, you know what? Okay, he's a celebrity. He's, been in Hollywood. He does what he's got to do, and makes a show that I don't watch, The Apprentice. I don't watch it. Have I ever seen it? Yeah, I've seen an episode or two, but I didn't watch The Apprentice. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I just figured he was a dude out there, like, making money on TV, doing this kind of stuff. But fortunately for him, and I've said this in the past, is that this man has been rooted inwardly of himself to a certain specific belief. And it was a belief in America under the guise of how business should be done. He was speaking about this as early as 1980. And I would submit to you that you cannot turn on an interview anytime that that man's ever given an interview. Go do a web search. Go do a YouTube search. Go look at anything in his past well before he ever said he was going to run for president. And I challenge you to find me something that does not jive with exactly what he has done for this country today, with the trade deals, with everything. This man was awake. He is awake. I don't know how it's all going to shake up. I know everything's going to be better when it's done, right? Not another 4-year election. It wasn't. I repeated this the other night. This is an 8-year election. The first 4 were to get rid of the fucking shit, which we're going through right now. We're about to reach pinnacle where the shit is really thrown out to the curb. The next 4 will be about rebuilding, truly rebuilding. And not only America, not only the infrastructure of America, not only the infrastructure of the world, because this is going to become a global event. It already is. But when the other shoe drops and everything is revealed to those who want to have it revealed to them, which will be a lot of people, you're going to be in a different world. You're going to be in a world that you want to be in. You're going to be in a world that you're proud and happy that your kids are in and your grandkids. Now, I believe this wholeheartedly. I do. I don't see any other way for this plan to shake up differently than that. I really don't think it's going to. I think the Patriots are in full control. I think that we are watching a movie. And thank God we're watching a movie. They didn't even say it's a 3D movie where it's going to be in your face. They're saying that they got these motherfuckers. They got their numbers. They got every plan that they can try to do. They can counter it. They got them. They got them. So the rest of this long-awaited, however long it takes, I'm thinking months, maybe a month, maybe less than a month, but maybe months. They're letting it play out so that they expose themselves. The Democrats have done nothing to enhance themselves in the American public, so why get in the way of that? Let them keep continuing to show what complete psychopaths they are. Why would you jump in the middle of that? We still have to get them to put the vote up to impeach the president. The only thing standing in the way of that is they don't have the votes in the House to impeach the guy. They could, if they did, they'd do it in a New York minute. They'd do it right now, in a second. Right now. They don't have the votes. Maybe with this trip to Jordan with Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and an entourage of people, maybe that's what this is about, is that they're trying to come back and trying to fabricate and put together, on top of destroying evidence, maybe they're trying to put together a game plan. They can come back out with full bores or, full shot and say the president is guilty of this, and here's why. They're on their last stand. These people they do not have really any plays left. They have to ride this narrative that we're being force-fed, which is bullshit. They have to ride this until they self-destruct, and they're about to self-destruct. They're about done. They're about done. They're pretty damn close to being done. And that's just fine with me. However they die, Yeah, they've earned it. They've all earned it. Every bit of it. They've earned every bit of it. We'll see, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes down. We'll see what happens. One thing's for sure, you and I are not in control of how the information gets leaked to the public. And the good news is that neither are the Democrats, which means the Patriots are in full control. So we just are force-fed to sit back and say, you know what, we're just going to let it come. We're going to listen. We're going to watch how this all falls into play. That's how I'm playing this. I think that's the only way to play this. Too many truths, too many calculations, too many things that are mathematically and statistically impossible for Q to not be what Q has shown itself to be, which is an alternative to a coup against the President of the United States. It'll be the greatest story that's ever told when it's done. It'll be as big or bigger than Abe Lincoln. It'll be bigger than John F. Kennedy ever could have dreamed. When this is done and these sons of bitches are brought before the people. Yeah. Some will probably kill themselves, but when they come before the people, I'm not going to feel bad for the ones that are standing trial. I'm just not going to feel bad for them. If you're standing trial, then you better come with why you're not a part of all of this and show it to be truth. The reality is that there won't be that many that are that way. They're going to go out of this world based on sacrifices that they made for their own humanity, which is a nice way of saying they sold their souls. They just simply did. And whatever. May God have mercy on their soul, I guess, when it's all done. Not into malice. I just want the shit to end. You know what I'm saying? All right. That's all I got tonight. I'm out of rant. Good to see you. I'll go back and read the chat. Fantastic seeing you all. Have a great week. We're going into Monday. Super Monday. Have a great Monday. I love you guys. Be cool. I'll see you soon. Bye.